Will will point out that today and this week has been very hard for my home state of Texas and for my district in Collin County. We have faced a record-breaking freeze across the state, which has crushed our power generation capability, and we have had some really heartbreaking stories of need. In fact, during this hearing, I was called away to help a mayor try to get power back to their water pumping stations to make sure that they have water for their citizens in Anna, Texas today. So for those members of the committee, I encourage you to send your thoughts and prayers to the people of Texas as they go through this really challenging time. On to the topic of this hearing, Mr. Tenev, I just wanted to go in. I know there's been a lot of questions about the margin call that you got on the morning of the 28th of January. But I'm not sure that we really understand how the margin call changed from 3 billion to 1.5 billion to 600 million. Can you sort of go through how did you negotiate the margin call down? And I mean, and these are very sizable decreases, right? You're 50% to 50% again to something that you could then in turn manage. How did you decrease the margin call? I'm sorry, you're on mute. You're still on mute. I haven't been able to hear a word you said, unfortunately.
How about now?
I can hear you now. Madam Chair, can I have 30 seconds back for that?
Okay. Congressman, I appreciate the question. And first, I want to send my thoughts and prayers to the people of the great state of Texas. I appreciate you mentioning that. I'd like to just refer to my written testimony, which gives the detailed tick-tock of everything that happened. I believe pages 9 to 11.
No, I've read that. I don't. But like, did you go in and say, hey, you need 3 billion, but hey, I won't sell these stocks if you reduce it, and that's how you got to the point where people could only sell the stock, not buy it? Is that what you did?
I believe.
Because that's not in your written testimony. So I'm just trying to get your answer.
I don't believe we had made any decisions on PCOing the stocks between the initial 3 billion request and the subsequent 1.4 billion request. But between the 1.4 billion and the roughly 700 million, there was a discussion between our operational team at Robinhood Securities and their relevant counterparts at NSCC regarding what measures we intend to take to lower the risk of our portfolio.
Okay, so in other words, if you had 3 billion, your customers would have been able to do everything they wanted to do, including purchase more GameStop. Is that correct?
I don't want to speculate on that. You know, if we had infinite capital, certainly. But I think it's also important to note, Congressman, that this was an evolving situation. We hadn't seen it before. We had no idea what Friday would have looked like had we been able to allow customers to buy these securities unrestricted on Thursday. So I think it's difficult to speculate exactly how things would have been different.
But I mean, isn't the reason they said you need 3 billion because your customers wanted to buy GameStop, and then by saying, hey, they can't buy it, they can only sell it, that reduced the capital that you needed? I mean, it seems to me that's what happened, but I'm just trying to get
it. They weren't saying specifically that nobody, I believe, didn't want our customers to buy GameStop. These are regulatory mandated deposit requirements, Congressman, that we had to comply with that were heavily influenced by the concentrated activity in GameStop, AMC, and the other securities.
Well, wouldn't it be fair to say that your firm was undercapitalized to allow your customers to do what it is that you wanted them to be able to do?
I think, Congressman, you know, that in this case, certainly if we had the additional capital, we would have been able to ease restrictions or perhaps with sufficient capital, unrestrict altogether. I think it's important to note lots of other firms did essentially similar things, if not the same thing, in restricting the buying. So this was really more of a systemic problem rather than a uniquely Robinhood problem.
But didn't the fact that you went out, raised more capital so that you can actually answer this problem in the future, doesn't that also belie that you were undercapitalized on the 28th of January?
Again, Congressman, we met all of our regulatory capital requirements
Yeah,
and
but you
deposit
didn't meet
requirements.
your customers wanted to buy the stock. You wouldn't let them do it because you didn't have the capital to allow them to do it, right?
Yes, we didn't have the deposit requirements.
I think that's really a core problem that I think this committee hearing has shown me is that you were unfortunately undercapitalized to help your customers do what they wanted to do. I yield back.
Thank you.